Hi everyone, this is R.V. Kiran, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering. In this video, I am going to discuss about the concept of advanced materials, and the topic to be discussed are transformations and types of shape memory alloys. So, in the last lecture also we have discussed about the shape memory alloys. So, that is types of materials. It is metals, ceramics, polymers, composites, and semiconductors, and definition of the shape memory alloys and its deformation heating process. Next, history of shape memory alloys and different shapes of shape memory alloys and different types of shape memory alloys. So that is cadmium, copper, nickel, and nitinol, and all these have been transformed into the temperature range. Next is ferromagnetic shape memory alloys and thermally induced phase transformation also we have seen, and how these shape memory alloys have been worked in the low temperature graph, and different types of transformations, that is martensitic transformation and austenitic phase. So these are all the topics we have covered in the last lecture, and in this lecture we are going to study about the pseudo-elasticity or super-elasticity and shape memory effect. So in the shape memory alloys, two properties have been gained each other, that is pseudo-elasticity or super-elasticity, and second one is the shape memory effect. So in the super-elasticity, the metal is changed to the martensite phase simply by the type of strain using there. So when we use the higher strain, it can easily change it to the martensitic phase. And when the metal becomes applicable and can withstand strains of up to 8% only, if more than 8% is done, the transformation done is very fast. And in the shape memory effect, these materials have a ability of remembering itself, so they have a background memory. So we have seen the in cinemas also there is a backdrop, so villain backdrop or a hero backdrop. So in that type only shape memory effect has some remembrance on its metal's properties. So as the metal is cooled to the martensite phase, it can be easily deformed, but when the temperature is raised to the austenitic phase, it reforms to its original shape of the material, and it converts into the its original shape and becomes more solid. So here we are seeing an example at the bottom. A mix of roughly 50% nickel and 50% titanium is the most commonly used shape memory alloy. So 50% nickel and 50% titanium. So it is also called as nitinol. So Ni means nickel and titanium means T. All means alloy. So nickel titanium alloy. So it is equally distributed as 50-50 percentage. Also copper zinc alloy and copper aluminum nickel are widely used. So above all, nitinol is the firstly preferred and highly used shape memory alloy in the industrial purpose as well as the research purpose also. So first one is the super elastic behavior of a alloy. So the deformed object or the deformed material above the critical temperature shows a very large elastic deformation, and in the result stress induced in the martensitic deformation are higher. So when we see the right side picture, an eyeglass are taken here, an eyeglass frame have been taken here, so they have been bent like a crisscross, but no effect is there on the spectacles because it has been done with the martensitic transformation, that to an super alloy, that is shape memory alloy with a super elastic behavior. And the applications, the common applications of the super elastic behavior are, these are the some of the applications highly used. So first one is the orthodontal braces. So orthodontal braces means when we used the strings and the string loads on the teeth, so these are known as orthodontal braces. Next, frames for eyeglasses. So recently there are number of types of frames for the eyeglasses and number of varieties are there in the market. So these super elastic behavior comes with the fiber alloy. So we are using their glass fiber. And third one is the underwires for brasseries. So these are for the ladies ligamentaries. Third, fourth one is the antennas for cellular phones also. So antennas used for the cellular phones also have super elastic behavior. This results in the elasticity nature of the material. And next one is the second one, shape memory effect. So in this shape memory effect, martensitic phase transformation occurs as a result of stress or temperature change. So in the left side picture, a sheet type metal is taken in the hands, human hands, and we get some stress on it. So and get some stress on it or temperature change is observed on it. So the transformation takes place in the material. So this type of effect is known as the shape memory effect. So this results in the transformation of austenitic range into the martensitic phase, or transformation of room temperature into the martensitic phase. This martensitic phase results in the deformation of a material, of a deformation of a object. So this deformation results in the change of its original shape, and again when it's cooled it regain its original shape. So that is in the austenitic transformation otherwise. So next we have seen about the applications of shape memory effect. So first coming to the applications of shape memory effect, first one is the self-expandable cardiovascular stents. So these stents are highly using nowadays in the heart surgeries. So heart surgeries, we are knowing it as heart stents. So these cardiovascular stents are highly used for the heart surgeries nowadays. So this is, they are self expandable and self compressible. So the defined property used in the stents are more applicable. Second one is the blood clot filters. So these are also in the biomedical applications. Third one is the engines. So in the engines also, the depressed or the compressed size of object is used in the shield of the engines. Fourth one is the actuators for smart systems. Fifth one is the couplings. So couplings, we have different types of couplings are there. So muff coupling, split muff coupling, and different types of couplings. So these in these couplings also the shape memory effect is done by this method. Last one is the flaps that change direction of airflow depending upon the temperature. So these flaps are used in the small size aeroplanes, that is 3 or 4 seater aeroplanes. So some personal aircrafts are there. So the left side and right side of the wings have some flaps there. So it automatically changes the direction of the wings. And these are also used in the air conditioner also. So when we move the door of the air conditioner, the flaps are moving upwards and downwards and left and right side. So that is known as flaps. And it also seen in the air coolers also. So in the air coolers, we have to, when we have to change the direction, we have to move the flaps right side or left side or upside or downwards. So these are the basic examples of the shape memory effect. And here we can see the one of the example of a shape memory effect sheet. So first picture is the inactive effect. So there is no condition or there is no stress or strain in the sheet. So it is called as inactive sheet. Second one is the active sheet. While it has some bending moment in this. So some bending moment is there on the sheet and it has some applied load. And third one is the active sheet and it has been twisted. So twisted in the flip-flop method. So when it has bending, then it moves in the anti-clockwise direction. So when we move bending in the clockwise direction and this twist is on the anti-clockwise direction, so we have to move the twist on the other direction of the bending, that is clockwise or anti-clockwise. Next one is the another example of transformation of shape memory alloys. First one is the before transformation. So before transforming into the martensitic transformation, we have seen the austenitic transformation. So that is the deformation of a alloy. And second one is the during transformation. So when it is cooled, the material gets going to get its original shape. And last one is the after transformation. So after transformation it gets to its original position, that is original shape of the material when it gets transformed in the austenitic phase. So first two positions are the martensitic transformation as well as the defined martensitic transformation. So that two positions are in the martensitic transformation and last one is the austenitic transformation. Next we are going to see another application of the shape memory effect. So it is a tin. So this is a soft drink tin, that is Coca-Cola or Pepsi. We are using the other brands also. So first one is the crushed object of the tin, that is before transformation, but its original shape is a hollow object. So when we sip all the liquid in the tin, we are used to get the empty tin there. So in the empty tin, we are going to crush it for the recycling purpose. So that is the first one, that is before transformation. And during transformation, it gets some space in the crushed object and it comes somewhat upwards in the position. And last one is the after transmission phase. So after transmission it gets to its original shape, that is in the shape of a Coke tin or Pepsi or any other thing. So that is in the form of a its original shape. So this is the transformations of different applications of SMS. So that is different applications of shape memory alloys. And in the next slide we are going to see the types of shape memory behavior. So in the types of shape memory behavior, two topics are mainly discussed in the shape memory alloys. That is, first one is the one way shape memory alloy, second one is the two way shape memory alloy. So in this slide we can see the one way shape memory alloy. So in the picture itself it has been cleanly defined that there is a clean deformation and cooling of a solid shaft. So we are taking here applicable or workpiece as a solid shaft. So in this one way shape memory alloy, transformation to the desired shape occurs only upon heating, that is memory is with the austenite phase. So when we use it to heat the solid shaft, it memory is within the austenitic phase only, and then cool it to the position, then it comes to the C position, and last one is the original shape. So In the picture above we have seen about the, so A is the original shape of a solid object, and when it is on heating it gets some deformed object, so it gets some bending on the both sides of the object, and when it gets cooled then it remove its bending and comes to its original shape. And in the D position we have seen its original shape, that is the one way object of a shape memory behavior. So it get its original shape by memory on the austenitic phase. So memory is with the austenitic phase. And second one is the two-way shape memory effect. So we have seen the one-way shape memory effect. Next we are going to see the two-way shape memory effect. So in the one-way shape memory effect, only one deformation is occurring in the shape memory effect, but in this two-way shape memory there is two ways, so we can use it in the two ways also, two deformed ways also. So first we are converting it into the austenitic phase to the martensitic phase, and then converting it into the martensitic phase from the austenitic phase. So the deformed shape is remembered during cooling, but in addition to the original shape being remembered during heating. But in the one-way shape memory effect, only memory has been remembered by the austenitic phase only. But in this shape memory effect, the deformed shape is remembered during cooling as well as heating. That is, memory is with both the austenitic phase and the martensitic phases. So memory is done between the martensitic phase as well as the austenitic phase, but it requires some training to attain memory during cooling and heating. So this formation of favorably oriented twins during cooling between starting phase of the martensite and finishing stage of the martensite, so these are known as twins. So here we are using the word as twins, and in the previous lecture also we are used about the twinning effect of the phase or transformation. So this twinning means we are seeing the starting phase as well as the ending phase of the shape memory effect. So this is known as the twinning of both sides. So twinning means we have two sides, that is the austenitic phase as well as the martensitic phase. So in the austenitic phase it is upon the heating of the cooling of the object, and in the martensitic phase it is based upon the heating of the material. So when we use it to heat the material, it attains its memory during cooling and it's cooled during the austenitic phase, and this is the two-way memory effect, shape memory effect of a shape memory behavior. Next we are going to see the physical properties of nitinol versus SS, that is SS means stainless steel. So we are using nowadays we are using the nitinol as advanced material in the shape memory alloys, but in the olden days as well as the starting phase of the shape memory alloy, stainless steel have been used highly and highly recommended metal. But nowadays we are using the nitinol alloy, that is nickel titanium alloy. So first going to the first column, it is a property, second one is the type of alloy, that is nitinol, and third one is the metal, pure metal stainless steel. So first property is the melting point of the both alloy and the metal. So when it comes to nitinol, the melting point goes to 1310 degrees centigrade, and it when going to the stainless steel it is 1450 degrees. And next going to the second property, density, that is the weight of the material. Nitinol has 6.5 grams per cubic centimeter, but when it goes to stainless steel, it is somewhat heavier than the nitinol, that is 8 grams per cubic centimeter. Next, third property is electrical resistivity. So it has 76 by 82, but in the stainless steel it is 72, somewhat less than the nitinol property. And thermal expansion for the nitinol and stainless steel are, when it comes to nitinol it is 6.6 per 11 and stainless steel 17.3. And when it goes to thermal conductivity, nitinol has 18 and stainless steel has 16.3. And last property is the elastic modulus. So when it comes to nitinol, it is 40 by 75, but stainless steel it has high elastic modulus, but it not compared to the nitinol, it has doubled or tripled, that is it has huge number 193. So compared to the elastic modulus, stainless steel is highly preferable to nitinol, but going to the other properties, nitinol is highly preferred to the steel. So in the olden days, stainless steel are used because of the less cost and highly achievable material and highly achievable machinability. But in the recent days, we are using the alloys. So in the biomedical applications also, we are using the nitinol as higher property. So for this higher property of the material, an alloy has to be constructed in the composite material, that is in the shape memory effect. So nitinol has been constructed with compared to the other materials. So in the materials commonly used shape memory alloy or shape memory metal is stainless steel. So we are comparing the stainless steel with the nitinol for that condition only. So this is about the physical properties of the nitinol, that is the composite material, versus stainless steel. So it is the pure metal form of the, which is also obtained in the austenitic transformation. So ferrous alloys are commonly obtained in the austenitic region as well as the martensitic transformation. So when you see the iron carbon equilibrium diagram, it has different types of phase transformations, that is ferrite, cementite, leadberite, etc. But going to the transformations, it has only two, ferrite plus cementite combination comes to the austenitic transformation, and transformed leadberite comes under the martensitic transformation. So stainless steel have been used for that purpose only. So for the condition of obtaining the different types of transformation using in the iron carbon equilibrium diagram also. So when comes to the adding of carbon content in the iron, less than 2% is comes under stainless steel, that is 0 to 2% carbon in the iron, and above 2%, that is 2 to 6.67% comes under the cast irons. So that is there is different types of cast irons there, that is white cast iron, gray cast iron, malleable cast iron, so some other cast irons. But in the stainless steel, in the industry purpose, we are using the highly recommendable hardened steel and mild steel. So which carbon content is less than the 2% in the iron carbon equilibrium diagram.